Northern leaders have made their stance clear on the 2027 presidency, rejecting calls for President Bola Tinubu's re-election. The Arewa Consultative Forum and other prominent Northern figures have asserted that the region cannot be coerced into supporting Tinubu's re-election bid. In fact, there's a growing sentiment among Northern leaders about that the region should produce the next president, rather than wait until 2031, as suggested by Abdullahi Ganduje, the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress. This development has significant implications for the 2027 presidential election, as it suggests that Northern leaders may not automatically support Tinubu's re-election bid. Instead, they may throw their weight behind a candidate from that region. Well, joining me, as I mentioned earlier, is Awwal Abdullahi-Aliyu, is the president of the NSNCM. He, of course, joins virtually. Now, NSNCM means the Northern Seven Consensus Movement. I also have Jamilu Aliyu. He is the national coordinator for the Coalition of Northern Groups. He joins virtually also from Kaduna State. Gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having us.
All right. I mean, coincidentally, great. Coincidentally, both of you are from the north. So let me start with you, Mr. Abdullahi Aliyu. I mean, this talks about the second term for Mr. President. I mean, the permutation and all of that, both from rights groups, even political parties, some taking it way back even to the zoning formula and all of that. What do you make of the idea of the presidency maybe going back to the north?
Well, thank you very much. First, I am a northerner. I advocate for North and Northerners, and I believe in the North and development of North in the context of Nigeria. But notwithstanding, leadership is leadership. We have had right from the time of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, worked so hard assiduously to ensure that power return to North and even remain in Northern Nigeria. I staged the Occupy, Buhari, Babangida, and all Northern leaders for one voice, Arewa. Why I led that group that time was to ensure that North come together in bloc and speak with one voice. I and my group led Muhammadu Buhari to appear in DITV Al-Hir Radio to declare that he has forgiven IBB. I led IBB to also grant an interview in Liberty Radio and Television to say that he has no grudges against Babangida. I organized a program to see the then governor of Niger State and the chairman of Northern Governors Forum, Muazu Babangida Aliyu, where I, with him, brought Babangida and Buhari in Niger State to meet and eat from the same table. I visited all Northern leaders and governors, emirs, as at that time, to rally round to ensure that power returned to North. I met all the governors, like I said. We initiated the breakaway of PDP, the then new PDP, to joining the APC. So we have a history of protecting North and Northerners. We have a history of ensuring that whatever happens to Northerners, we are concerned and we get to intervene immediately. I led the no food protests that took place 3 years ago, where Northerners were killed in the eastern and the southern part of the country, where I blocked the road. And for days, for 4 days, there was no food supply, and everybody knows what that brought about. So we have this history, like I said, of protecting North and Northerners. But when it also, as far as governance and leadership is concerned, where I met Muazu Babangida Aliyu to make the declaration in his office, then as a governor of Niger and chairman of Northern Governors Forum, that the consensus and agreement between the North and Jonathan then was for him to complete Erhadua's tenure and then leave way for continuity of North in governance. Now that is that, speaking about that. Coming back to what is happening right now, some Northern leaders coming to speak about, of course, power continue to remain in the North, and then North continue to rule. Yes, of course, have been an advocate. That was why I had to trace back to history to let you know where we are coming from, where we are are and where we are looking up to. But then, if you recall, also during the 8 years leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari, you will know that we did everything possible. Like I said, I made Buhari to make that declaration that he has forgiven IBB, because what we wanted was all the leaders to come together to speak with one voice, so that the northern Nigeria will have a single voice. If we say go right, we go right. If we say go left, we go left. But that eventually we succeeded in getting the presidency, but that block that we had wanted it to come together to speak with a voice up to tomorrow never come. And up to tomorrow, there's no one single person or group of people that will come and say they speak for North, and every northerner accept their position to say we are going that way. Not even the Arewa Consultative Forum, not even the Arewa Northern Elders Forum, not even the Northeast Elders Forum, not any other group. You have so many other groups. Like, you know, I lead a group of 596 registered associations.
So I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand your stand, your point of view. I mean, you've given us a history of some of the activities that you've been involved in ensuring that, permit me to use the word, maybe the agenda of the North is fostered. But for some Nigerians who are observing the political trend, it feels like a sense of entitlement, particularly in that region when it comes to power. The perception that the North feels entitled to power. What's your take on this? What's the stance on this?
No. It is not. That is not correct. North does not feel power belongs to North or power belongs to Northerners alone. No, Northerners are fair human beings. We are fair. We are just. We believe in togetherness. We believe in collectivity. We believe in unity of the country. In fact, Northern Nigeria is what is keeping Nigeria united up to tomorrow. So we don't believe that power belongs to us or we must have power at all costs. We only believe in fair leadership, inclusive leadership that also carry every sector of the country along, leadership that provide development for every strata of the Nigerian society. So for anybody to think that or assume that Northerners are claiming power, that power belongs to Northerners and Northerners alone will lead this country, that is a very wrong notion. I don't belong to that school of thought. I believe and belong to the school of thought that leadership is about delivery. Leadership is about patriotism. Leadership is about nationalism. Leadership is about inclusiveness. Leadership is about providing development to everybody and every sector of the Nigerian economy. If my brother or my own father, as a Northerner, cannot provide that leadership that will bring Nigeria together, that will unite the country, that will provide leadership, that will bring development to both the North and the other part of the country, then I will say even my dad is not entitled to lead, even as I speak here as a Northerner. So why we don't know Northerner? If any Northerner speak that he believes that power belongs to North, he is making a mistake.
I might just need to come in here so that I can allow Jamilu to, of course, talk. Jamilu, you've had some of the things Awwal has said. I'd like your take on this issue, particularly that sense of, that perception of a sense of entitlement when it comes to power as regards the North.
Well, actually, good evening, Nigerians. Well, actually, I don't need to say much about CNG because we all believe that CNG is a household name. It's a household name. Whenever the name is called, it rings a bell, not only in the minds of Northerners, but in the minds of Nigerians. Just let me go straight to the point to where we are here today. Why we are here today is about Nigerian politics. And one thing we believe is that we don't believe that leadership or power belongs to the other, but we believe that power belongs to the majority. Wherever the majority is, that's where the political power is. And the election is always by numbers. And wherever the numbers supersede the other numbers, then definitely power will go there.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I might just need to come in here because you said something. You said that you believe that power belongs to the majority, right? But in the case of Nigeria, the majority oftentimes is in the direction of the North. And many have questioned if this arrangement is fair. What's your reaction to that? Is this arrangement fair?
Well, actually, what I'm saying is power belongs to the majority. And I believe that that's what democracy is all about. If the North has the majority, then the power belongs to the North. I'm not aware about it. But what we are saying is that times for us to think to be the leader of Nigeria, where he comes from, that one is, I believe that is a barbaric thinking. We're supposed to be thinking about who is going to provide a desired leadership that Nigerians require. Who has the capacity, who has the integrity, and who has the competency, who is capable even of doing the job, despite the fact that wherever he is coming from, if he is coming from the southern part of the country, if he is coming from the eastern part of the country, from the northern part of the country, in as much as he can bring the desired leadership that Nigerians bring, I believe that NOS will support him 101%.
Okay, we'll definitely pick up from there. We'll pick up from there, sir.
Leadership.
We'll pick up from there, but we need to go on a quick break. When we return, we'll definitely catch up. Stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. Of course, it's still Politics HQ on News Central Television, and we are discussing political landscape in Nigeria, particularly as it affects 2027 elections and the northern region. I still have my guests with me. Gentlemen, thank you for staying with me. Let me still stay with you, Jamilu. We had to go on the break when you were trying to actually establish a point. I'd appreciate it if you can pick up from there. But in addition to my question, I'd also like to ask, do you think that the current administration has been favorable to the North?
As I was saying earlier, that power belongs to the majority. And if the North has the majority, then we have no problem with that. But we are very much comfortable to have a leader that has the country at his heart. A leader that is competent enough, that has the integrity, that has the capacity, and that is willing even to promote the country forward. A leader that will lead with the philosophy of the messengers of God. These are the leaders we desire in this country, irrespective of their region, irrespective of their tribes, and irrespective of their religion. All we need today is a leader that can move this country forward. So I think the issue doesn't even arise that where this leader comes from. I think this is we're supposed to live this in a barbaric age, thinking of where the leader comes from. We're supposed to be seeing the qualities of the leader that is coming to the country, and this is what the country exactly is looking for today. But for somebody just to wake up and say that whether somebody will continue or somebody cannot continue on behalf of the entire northern Nigeria, that's when he's just saying his opinion, his personal opinion, not the opinion of northern Nigerian people. The votes will determine who is going to be the leader, and those votes will only be determined at the end of the tenure of each administration. By the end of this administration, if the northerners or Nigerians in particular are satisfied with the service provided, with the quality of leadership that Tinubu's administration provides, I believe that they can go for him. But if they are not satisfied with the quality of leadership he brings, I believe that not only northerners, but the entire Nigerians will reject him. And that is the trend, and that is the norms. So in as much as we are going to continue on this trend that we are, you see, in this trend that we are, I believe that I'm not exaggerating, neither am I saying something wrong, by saying that things are not going well the way Nigerians desire, or the way Nigerians expected things to be moving in this administration. Still in this administration, Nigerians are short of electricity. Still in this administration, we have bad healthcare system. Still in this administration, we have bad education system. Hike in everywhere is going in this administration. Recently, a few hours ago, I have just read online how they are talking about charges in POS and banking system and other things. So all these things are coming back to Nigerians, not to northerners. And all these things are determining factor who is going to lead this country by the end of this administration. So in as much as Ganduje is advocating for Tinubu to continue, I think for him to come out and say that Tinubu must continue is not even the solution to the problem. But he'd rather go back to the house and tell Tinubu what he's supposed to do to Nigerians, not only to northerners in particular, but to Nigerians in generality. I wonder how people are suffering with the removal of fuel subsidy, with the increase in electricity tariff, with the recent tax reform bill that Nigerians are agitating strongly on it. But we are still claiming that he must continue. You see, democracy is not by force. And somebody who is saying that Tinubu cannot continue, we know perfectly enough that he is not saying it because of the progress of the region, but rather he is saying it for his own personal sentimental interest. And these are the issues that are bedeviling this country, and these are the issues that undermine the democracy of this country. We must come clear to our terms. We must be realistic to our terms. We must do whatever we want to do for the sake of Nigeria and Nigerians, not for the sake of our personal interest or what we are going to get in the administration.
Okay.
I believe that there are some people that are agitated today, but had even they are part and parcel of the administration, they wouldn't have agitated today. And what this the chairman of the party is saying today, if he's not part of this party, I believe that he will not say it too again. So this is where we are getting it wrong. It is very unfortunate that today in Nigeria we don't have leaders. But we have politicians.
Jamilu, I'm sorry.
Always seeking for how to win a next election rather than how to build the next generation of our teeming youth. That is the situation we find ourselves in. We have a decade of decay of leadership in this country. We have corrupt politicians, immoral politicians, politicians that are just a political liability, political burden to the country and the entire people of the country.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Let me go to Awwal. Awwal, in your submission, you said that the North has been integral in ensuring unity of the country. And you also went on to say quite a number of things. I'd like you to expand on that as to how exactly. And then also speak on if you feel this administration has been favorable to your region.
Well, thank you very much. Like I said earlier, I'm going to continue from where I stopped. Northern Nigeria is the heart of Nigeria. Northern Nigeria is the uniting factor of Nigeria. And of course, Northern Nigeria wish for Nigeria to continue as one nation with one people under God. And that will continue to exist. That is as far as North is concerned. And even if you look at it in terms of leadership, Northerners always try to be as fair as possible, tries to be as balanced as possible when it comes to leadership and the distribution of amenities, infrastructural items, as well as positions. But that's is one thing about that is a legacy of North. But coming back to talking about whether this the present administration has provided for North what the North require or not, or in terms of positions and infrastructural development, I think we need to trace back to the immediate past government of Muhammadu Buhari, where we had our own that served this country for 8 solid years, and then at the end of the day, handing over to the present administration. Now, if you look at it, has Buhari done what is required of him, even as a northerner, for the northerners, for North to develop as far as North is concerned? If you ask me, I will tell you no. Every northerner today, a reasonable northerner, that will be a critical thinker, an objective person that is an unbiased person that will speak to you from the angle of reality, not just from angle of selfish interest, or because I'm a northerner, I want to protect North and Northerners, so I will say what is not true, or because a Southerner is in power and I feel is not doing what the North require, therefore I'm going to castigate him. If you look at that critically, let us look at the Buhari's administration in 8 years. Have we had what we require or what we need or what the North envisaged? No, we didn't have that. Are we having this under the present administration? Not as expected. Now, you have to balance the two to be able to come out to speak. It's not about castigation. Now, that is that. Looking at positions given to the North, the major things that is bothering Northerners today are 2 or 3 things. One, the issue of security, and that security is the one that is extending to the development of our economy, of course, agriculture and normal buy and sell. Because there's a challenge, security challenges, that was why North is backward in terms of education, health-wise, financially, in terms of agriculture and what have you. But is this government doing the needful in terms of providing the necessary architecture and also the necessary funds and also strategies for security, economy, and other aspects of it? Yes, I would say to an extent 50-50 kind of basis. Now we have in the present administration, leaders who are from the North, who have been given leadership responsibility in order to protect the interests of North and to ensure that North get what it is expected to get. That is on that angle. And then, so if you balance it now between Bola Tinubu as a president and Muhammadu Buhari as a president, and in terms of development for North and Northerners, I think you might go 50-50. And it will be expected that when Buhari was in power, even though as Northerners we are fair in distribution, like I said earlier, but one would have expected that he would have done more than that he has done for Northern Nigeria. Just like the president, it has been alleged that President Bola Tinubu is concentrating more in the southern part of the country. But whatever you want to look at it, and also looking at what national chairman of APC, Ganjude, is talking about. Now, if you look at it, like I said earlier, we do not have a voice in the North. Nobody can stand up and speak in the name of North or on behalf of North that every Northerner will accept that a leader or a group of leaders has spoken and they have spoken the mind of North, and every Northerner has accepted that verdict as our own. This is why we try, like I said in the past, to bring all the leaders together so that we can have a voice, just like the other regions have a voice. Now, Ganduje woke up in a meeting. Now, if you want to judge what a person says, why he says it, where he says it, to whom he said those things, that is where you now draw your conclusion on who is he addressing or what is the message he is passing. As far as I am concerned, Ganduje spoke in APC headquarters. Ganduje was talking to card-carrying members of APC, the northern card-carrying members of APC. He is telling them that Tinubu will continue, Northerners will not contest until 2031 when Tinubu must have finished his leadership. I feel that Ganduje was talking to northern members, northern card-carrying members of APC, passing a message to them as the national chairman of the party APC and to the members of APC, or those that sympathize with the APC, or those that are in support of either elected members, their elected representatives.
Okay, so basically what you are saying is that, in one word, Ganduje's statements is not a reflection of the position of northern Nigeria. Is that what you're saying?
What I am saying is Ganduje is talking to northerners that belong to his political party, that are card-carrying members of the APC. Ganduje, I mean, that is the people he's talking about. And if you look at it from that angle, you cannot fault him. He's a national chairman of a political party.
Okay.
He's addressing the members of his political party. He's talking to those northerners that are card-carrying members. And possibly by extension, if you like, those who have sympathy for the party APC, or for the elected members of APC, or for the appointed members of APC.
Okay.
Of course, there are opposition parties. If the opposition party tomorrow come out of so many opposition parties that we have, one of the leaders, sorry, I have to land, one of the leaders now come to say that a northerner must be the next president, or a northerner must not, Tinubu cannot continue. He will also be talking to members of his own political party, a card-carrying members of his own political parties, or sympathizers of his party. So it is this, we are in a country where we are practicing democracy.
Okay.
But like it was earlier said, we will only conclude when the time comes. Nigerians will decide who will either be a new president, or who will continue to be the president.
We need to go. We need to go. We need to go.
On the performance of either the present president or who they are expecting that will deliver on the expectations of Nigerians, most especially Nigerians from the northern part of the country.
Awwal Abdullahi-Aliyu, thank you so much. We definitely need to go. Hopefully we get to visit this conversation again. Many thanks to you, Awwal Abdullahi-Aliyu, President of the NSNCM, and also Jamilu Aliyu Charanchi is the National Coordinator of the Coalition of Northern Groups. Both men could join in virtually from Kaduna State. Once again, I'd like to say a big thank you. Thank you for your time.